ora, I'm back for the second and last part of the textile bit. Okay, so oh no, I haven't done this one. Okay, so I bought that from them. Then this is another side. Then we were in, I think it was Jodhpur. We had a great guide called Raj, the best one by far. He seemed to understand that his job was not just about talking to us when we arrived at the palace or the fort. You know, he talked from the minute the car set off. He would talk to us, tell us about things, and then he was also telling us about life in India and, you know, when he married, how they did things. Yeah, he was very engaged. He was interested in his job. So the best by far. And once I had explained that I loved textiles and I was looking for vintage textiles or antique textiles, he took us to a Jain dealer. So Jain is another religion. It's like the fourth major religion in India. So Hindu, Muslim, it's a Hindu, Islam. See, I'm a bit rubbish. Jain. Could it be Christianity? Buddhism. Yes. So he took us to this Jain dealer, and he was saying that quite often Jains, I mean, I don't know how true this is, but he said that they quite often end up having this sorts of business. They have a lot of money. They are quite savvy business people, but they're also very community-minded. So if you're Jain and your business is not going well, the Jain community will surround you and help you. So he said. Don't know. But anyway, this particular business that he took us to was a massive sort of building recovery sort of recyclers. But of course, being India, this is not like some random window you're getting. You're getting this amazing window that's 300 years old, or this amazing door that's 300 years old, or 500 years old. Beautiful. And of course, all these treasures leave the country. They get sold. They get sold abroad, but they also get sold within India when someone's like doing up a palace or something like that. Quite often for tourists. But anyway. So he took us to this place, and it was just incredible. I was like, oh, I love everything. But we're looking for textiles. So anyway, I told him about the textiles, and he was trying to suss out what I was interested in. And he said, oh, kanta, as my daughter-in-law says. And he showed me a really, really old one, but it was just not my thing. It was very plain, all hand-stitched, and it was from... Oh, anyway, I've forgotten, but it was not my thing. But then he said, Fulkari? I got very giddy. This was very expensive. I think I've already told you on Instagram this was very expensive. So, it was great to be in India because I say Pulkari because it was a P. But apparently they pronounce it Fulkari. And then it's really interesting because now that I'm kind of watching a lot about Palestine and stuff, they also say Palestine because that F obviously became the P or something like that. So it's quite interesting to me. I was Googling it to see the language roots, but they're not from the same language. Anyway, he showed me 4 different Fulkari because my heart stopped. I never thought I would own a Fulkari. It's it really is a family heirloom. It's they don't make them anymore. They make them in factories. Obviously, it's not the same thing. But historically, they would have been made by a mother or a grandmother when a child or a grandchild was born, a granddaughter or a daughter was born. And it could take them years to make. So you can see why it would be a grandmother making it for a grandchild and a mother as well. So at the time, I think women were still getting married quite young. So, you know, a mother could have a daughter, and then the daughter could marry when they were 15 maybe, or younger. And so a fulkari is a shawl, and it's made with hand woven fabric, and normally the women would go to the village weaver and buy the fabric. So it's hand woven, it's quite coarse, which means that you can really see the threads because it's a counted thread technique, and always dyed with madder. So madder is a root, so they always have this kind of ochre color, and the threads are always, I was going to say they're always silk, but now that I'm touching this white one, this one feels like cotton. It's kind of like a sort of white one, but all the rest are silk, and they look it. They're shiny and not coarse feeling. So anyway, and normally because the looms were a limited width, they would have to join pieces. So this is one piece, and it's quite coarsely joined here. And then this is another piece to there, and for symmetry they have joined a smaller piece between the two other regular pieces, and it's joined just with a simple back stitch. And I'll just show you in bits. So this is a shawl, but it can also be used to drape over a table or something like that, and quite often they would be used for a wedding. When it was really special, and for a wedding it would be 100% covered. You wouldn't be able to see the base fabric. And there was one like that for sale for the same price as this one, which theoretically would make it more precious. But I preferred this one with the negative space, and I like to have the history of the, like, I like to see the story of the madder dyed fabric, and I just found it more interesting. I did love the border. I was like, oh, if I could just have that border of the other one. I couldn't justify buying two. Could not justify buying two. Truly, I didn't even consider it for a second. It was like, which one are you going to take? So, incredibly beautiful work. This is the width. So imagine it goes over your shoulders, and I'll show you the length. Can you imagine? Can you see how gorgeous this is? Oh, I could put the light on now. It's getting a bit gloomy. If you watch me and you're Indian, or your family is from India and you have one in your collection, I'd love to know. Do you treasure it? You can buy them. I kept getting adverts for factory made fulkari. I was like, not interested. There was one thing, because we didn't have the time. We were either too tired and in the hotel or moving on to the next bit. But my friend, when I was at her place, we actually spent most of the day in her studio. She had a massive table, so we laid it on the table. She spotted this beauty. Isn't this gorgeous? I love it. The only one with the two colors. It's like, oh, ran out of thread, I'll finish it in the other color. A woman after my own heart. Loved it. Anyway, this is a treasure, and all the inner bits are outlined in this kind of dark charcoaly black color. Anyway, so happy to have this. This was a pretty penny. I think I've probably told you already. On Instagram. I thought this is absolutely worth the money I paid. If New Zealand doesn't have a super strong economy, so our dollar is not super strong, so I paid 500 New Zealand dollars for it. I'm only telling you because, you know, if you're interested in textiles, you might be thinking, oh, I'd like to get one. What sort of price would they be wanting? What sort of price would they be asking? It's just as an idea. You know, the next one might be 1,000, I don't know. But certainly, they don't make them now. Society has changed. They don't make these anymore. And you know, for someone to make this now, it would cost thousands. There'd have to be people that want to, you know, hand weave the fabric. See, normally when you're hand weaving, you're making it really fine, because then you can ask for more money, but you need a coarse cotton fabric to be able to count the stitches. Oh, and the other thing I didn't tell you is that the original ones, like this one, were worked from the back. They would count the stitches from the back, which seems like amazing. Anyway, super, super happy to have this. But my heart did kind of sink a little bit, because that was like, oh, okay, I can't afford anything now, that's it. I've spent my money. That wasn't true. I had $200 left at that point, I think. Because my budget was books about textiles, and textiles was one lump sum. As well as that, in the same shop, I also bought these two, which again I also loved. I really wanted to have bags, and I didn't have any bags in my collection. So, and I love that they're not precious. I think in modern times we always try and hide the joins. They were like, nah, that's the join. We're just folding it in half. So lots of applique work, and I think a lot of it is reverse applique. Pretty cool. It's got lots of these pom-poms with a button underneath it. That's pretty cool. So yeah, really happy. There we go. One, don't forget, I don't think there are any more petitions running that I can do at the moment. But if you haven't done a petition to ask for a ceasefire, go ahead. Certainly the ones from the UK that I've been doing, if you've already signed the petition, it won't let you do it again. So it will let you fill it in, and then you get an email saying duplicate signatory. So that's fine. There are some new ones that are coming out, so you might want to consider doing those. To request a ceasefire for Palestine. It takes 3 minutes. Lies, it takes 2 seconds. Like literally it's something like you click, you authorize that you leave Instagram, sometimes it even autocompletes. Like it's such a low effort thing to do. Anyway, it was also very interesting to be in a country that has been colonized whilst this was happening. It's very interesting. This is another piece that I got. Again, it's a bag. It's got 2 pockets, one here and one there. Almost like a saddle bag, but it's not a saddle bag. It's very fine. It's a fine fabric background. It's, I think all the threads are silks. And it's got some mirror work in the back. Very sparse embroidery in the back. I think some of it has got lost, but I don't think it was ever fully covered. I think some of it has got lost here. But yeah, very sparse. I wonder if they have some precious something in there. It's almost like it's got little ties here. It's got these little things that might have had a little something. Maybe a little bone, something to put it together, or a little driftwood something. I'm going to have so much fun researching all my books to see if they can give me any information. So that was that. That was the amazing business in Jodhpur. And then I think we were in Udaipur. Hang on. Yeah, in Udaipur. After we'd gone to the castle had, the palace, not a castle, had an amazing bookshop. So that was amazing. That's where I got those amazing books, where I couldn't find the third one, which I have ordered now, so it will arrive in a month or so. But I had asked the guide, that was like my dad. I felt very told off by him. It's just cultural. My dad was always like, I'm a bit like that as well. But it was very disconcerting to have him. He actually told me off at one point. He was exasperated by me. He told me off because he he was telling me not to believe the sellers if they said they had pashminas or something else. And I said, well, I'm not going to buy pashminas. It's okay. I don't care if you're not going to buy pashminas. I am telling you how it is. I was like, whoa. Anyway, there was many exchanges of glances between Martin and I. But he was really great in that he did take us to this, oh my goodness, amazing place. It's called Ganesh Handicraft Emporium. And it was a Haveli, and it was amazing. I was about to say if I could have bought everything I would have. I actually wouldn't have, because it's a little bit like op shopping. Op shopping is charity shopping, or like second-hand shopping. The joy is kind of the hunt. I mean, I would have liked to have started in that shop and maybe been able to buy a couple of large pieces, but for me it was wonderful to be there. It was wonderful to see everything, and it was wonderful to buy these. Maybe I'm just saying that to console myself, but you know, I'm also really aware that even though it looks like I've been super greedy and I bought lots of amazing things, I don't need to have everything. Like, it's okay for me not to have everything. It's fine. I survive. But anyway, I really wanted to buy some pocket things. I had wanted to buy Banjara dowry bags. That didn't happen. I couldn't justify it. You know, I have a good job. I could have bought them. I just couldn't justify it. I actually know that I can get them from Etsy for a bit cheaper. So I was like, nah. I've had the experience of looking at them, and now when I've paid for the India expenses, I will maybe buy one. But I really wanted to buy some pockets, so I did. And I really wanted to have these little pockets which are based on a square, and it's like, oh, we need a bag. They just fold them in, sew them, it's a pocket. Isn't this the most delicious, divine, completely over the top, but oh so perfectly done little bag? Love it. And it's a printed fabric. Just delicious. All the mirrors appear to have gone. So even though it looks completely over the top here, once upon a time it had mirrors. Love it. This was a different sort of pocket, so it's just, and they were more expensive if it was two-sided, right? But I really wanted to buy some pieces with shells, because obviously the people of this culture really valued shells. They thought they were gorgeous and they wanted to incorporate them, so I wanted one of those examples. So pretty. No lining. You can see straight to the back. So pretty. So shells, little flower, the fabric flower things, and mirrors. Look at that. Then, I really like this pocket. It's very plain compared to everything else that I have. But the thought that came to my mind when I was looking at it is G's bend. So if you're a quilter, you know what I mean. I just really liked, there is a sensibility that really came through for me in this little bag. And it had shells at the bottom. And this amazing cord. Oh no, this is lined. Is it lined? I think it's lined with a very plain lining. Love it so much. And then I came across this one with these massive mirrors. This is all, I could only afford the little ones because I knew that the bigger, the more expensive they are, so I was saying that little. Small budget, small piece. But I think these little hangy thingies are lead. So I thought, oh, I don't have any lead pieces in my collection. And these are just adorable. They're little lead bits with a little flower and then with beads, because, you know, you need all of that for perfection. So good. And I love that I've got a couple of pieces with these really large mirrors. And that's the back. And then I love this one. Isn't it gorgeous? It's like a painting. It's like a, I don't know. I just thought it was so beautiful. and I think this was done in 2 stages. Again, these squares, they look symmetrical, but they're not. They're actually different in detail, and they're also made with hook. I don't think it's a needle chain stitch, it's a hook chain stitch. Very beautiful. Oh, and then this, when I saw it, I was like, well, that's coming with me. Oh no, the light's not great. Can I do something? Oh, look at that. Absolutely stunning. When I saw this, I immediately thought, Roscoe. Tell me if you agree, if you think I'm being ridiculous. I just thought it was stunning. People just have this amazing ability with color and with design. Very beautiful. And all the shells, I was so happy to get one with loads of shells. And then this one. They did a good Indian perfect salesman technique on me for this one. Because this one piece cost as much as the others that I've shown you. So it was like all of these and this, same price, ish. It was so pretty. And when it came to pay, he told me how much it was, and I just moved the thing off to one side. I said, not this one. And then when he totted it all up, he totted it up with that one as well. And I thought, oh, whatever. So I bought it. I love it. I just think it's so beautiful. Again, one of those squares converted into a pocket, like a little bag. And it's got the shells. It's got a little flower. I think this is wool. It's got a little flower triangle. This one on this side. I love the turquoise edging. I was charmed by the grey. It was so unlike everything else I'd seen. So, beautiful. And so many mirrors. So many mirrors. Look how beautiful it is as it moves. So much patience. And then when you were done with it, you would roll it up. And then you would wrap it and tuck it in. And how amazingly beautiful is that? And that's it. Don't you think I did incredibly? I feel like I went looking for one Banjara piece. That was my thing that I wanted. It was that type of Banjara. Like this little bag, but bigger, and with a very Banjara color. This might well be Banjara. They told me these were Banjara pieces. Don't know. I will do research. I just kind of feel that I was just super lucky. I got some amazing, amazing pieces. Now I need to decide what I'm going to do with them, because I would like to store them properly in acid-free paper. I think I would like to rotate them, so I need to think about rotate. I'm not very good at those regular routine things, so I need to think about how I would do that. But I also think I'm not a museum. Like, I would like to see them. I don't want to just preserve them. I mean, I want to be respectful and look after them well, and I want to write notes on them. But we'll see. So lots of things that will occupy my time over the coming months. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed them. If you are also a textile collector, I would love to hear from you. If you've been to India and you've got some of these pieces, please let me know. It would be great to have chats about what you got and what was a good place to go. If I go back to India, I would like to go to the Kutch, which is the desert area, where I think it's the Kutch people that live there. I could be wrong. I need to research it. But they live in these beautiful rounded dwellings, which might actually just be something that they've been able to preserve in this particular area because they have tourists, so you can do homestay there. But in any case, we all live in a world where we need income, so if the beautiful work they do means that there is a source of income, that seems like a good thing, right? Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll try and answer, and I'll see you. I'm really not sure. We're supposed to be filming a Flosstube with Victoria, but I'm not sure how jolly I can be in light of what's happening in Palestine. She's also super busy doing a casket course, so we'll see. It might be that it might be that we do it. I can just see it if I don't do it straight away, it might just be months. So So I'll talk to Victoria and see if we can encourage each other to kind of get going with that. Okay, take care. Free Palestine.